Hi, I'm Sean Mabry. I'm a fantasy writer, and today I wanted to talk about a memory that I was just thinking about from my days in high school, which I realized is really perfect for me to share on this channel because I've already got this kind of running theme going of giving advice and guidance and perspective and encouragement to young artists because that's kind of the most important work ever, I think, in my opinion. And I was remembering this time back in high school during my humanities class, which was a wonderful and awesome class overall, where the teachers, there was three of them, it was a big class, they invited an actor named John Huntington to come and talk to us about theater because we'd covered art, we'd covered history, literature, philosophy, theory of knowledge, all these wonderful things that fall under the humanities bracket. But they wanted to give us something a little more direct for looking at theater. And so they invited John to come in, and he gave this speech that was really a wonderful formative moment for me in terms of thinking about art and thinking about how I create my own art. And he was talking specifically about theater, but I think he would agree everything he was talking about was highly applicable to any art form, and so I figured I'd share that now. He talked about a lot, actually, and some of it was more specific to theater, but one of the big points and the thing that really stuck to me was this idea of kitsch versus nourishment. And he talked about how in any art form you have these two things. You have kitsch and nourishment. Now kitsch, if you aren't familiar with the word, basically translates as something that is not especially serious, something that's light, something that's not, inoffensive, that doesn't really challenge you, but it's very pleasant. I mean, the example I can't help but think of is, like doilies and teddy bears and, just these soft, cuddly things that don't hurt anything, and you just keep them around because they're pleasant, and and that's fine. And part of the point he made was that we all need a certain amount of kitsch. Kitsch is necessary. But he also talked about nourishment, and nourishment is when you encounter something in the arts that challenges you. It could be that it could be so many things. I mean, it could be that it expresses a political viewpoint you aren't familiar with, or it forces you to take a deeper look at yourself and challenge your own assumptions about who you are, or it just is so rich, it's so beautiful, it's so moving, it's so powerful that it's kind of upsets your system for a moment and you have to rebalance. And his whole point was that nourishment is crucially important, and it's really kitsch is nice to have and it plays its role, but nourishment is the thing that decides whether we live or die. And his warning to us, his advice to us, was to always be very careful about the art you consume, to make sure you're getting enough nourishment so that the kitsch doesn't drown it out. And I think that's good advice just for anyone on Earth, any human being alive. It is always important to look for art that challenges you and to welcome it into your life and to celebrate that challenge. And then I think for us artists, there's an extra challenge on top of that to keep both those things in mind while we create. And through my own experience and through my own study, I've really come to believe that you need both at once in pretty much everything you create. So in other words, if you try to go with pure nourishment and you come out the gate saying, this is going to be completely challenging, this is going to be, this is just going to completely blow your mind, this is totally unfamiliar, this is difficult and heavy and serious, you're going to make something that's really hard for most people to absorb, even the people who agree with you. And it's honestly probably going to be kind of tough for you to create. Meanwhile, if you set out to create pure kitsch, it's like, well, why bother? There's plenty of kitsch already, frankly. There's never a shortage of kitsch. Kitsch is easier to make. But really what I am a strong believer in is finding that sweet spot that's somewhere in the middle. And I think it varies, really. I mean, my sweet spot is I suspect, actually a lot closer to the nourishment side than most people, and just in terms of what I create and what I absorb. But everyone has their own sweet spot, and it's going to be somewhere in the middle where you have enough kitsch to keep it light and entertaining and playful and fun for you to create. I mean, that's a crucial part of this whole thing, is that if you're not having fun creating the art, you're gonna have a hard life trying to be an artist. But then, of course, like I said, you do need that depth. You need something richer and more challenging and interesting. So that's it. That's my message for this video, and probably something I'll talk about more. It's an ongoing exploration for me. I don't think there's really a final answer to any of it. It's just a series of really, really good questions. So hope you enjoyed. If you liked this, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.